Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. This is check 1 2. Check 1 2.
Well, I don't really eat breakfast because I work so early, so I have lunch. And what did I have for lunch? Woo!
So we had a technical try to get a second camera up in that time. I just don't think it's gonna. So I'm sorry, your Vanna White will have to be a little more complicated.
We could also put the table between.
So, how about this? Is there another video before Kimmel and after Dawkins?
No, yeah, the Ellen Quintra trip, 3 minutes.
So, what if those two items were flipped?
Hello, Mike Dawkins.
Because while that video is running, we can move this table here and then do the flies. It's a bigger dollar item
Hello.
anyway.
Mike Dawkins from Worldcast Anglers here. Unfortunately, we won't be having the 2020 One Fly tournament and event. We're as disappointed as you not to get to show our competitive nature and spirit as outfitters, guides, and anglers in the Jackson Hole One Fly tournament. We wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you for your support from all the years of the One Fly tournament and events. Don't forget, you can support the Jackson Hole One Fly and its great conservation projects in the online auction this year in 2020. Thanks again for everyone's support, and we'll see everyone in 2021. Hello, Mike Dawkins from Worldcast Anglers here. Unfortunately, we won't be having the 2020 One Fly tournament and event. We're as disappointed as you not to get to show our competitive nature and spirit as outfitters, guides, and anglers in the Jackson Hole One Fly tournament. We wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you for your support from all the years of the One Fly tournament and events. Don't forget, you can support the Jackson Hole One Fly and its great conservation projects in the online auction this year in 2020. Thanks again for everyone's support, and we'll see everyone in 2021.
Test.
What did you eat for breakfast this morning, John?
You know, I had a banana because I didn't want it in the boat, and some French toast. I had a cup of coffee, some sausage, bacon, hash browns, and a chaser of scrambled eggs.
Wonderfully done. Sorry, thank you.
Evening, everybody. Welcome to the first ever Jackson Hole One Fly virtual live auction. Since 1990, I have been the voice of the One Fly, but this year I am joined by my partner in crime, Mr. John Holland, tonight to help out with the auction. Thank you so much for joining us. We got some great auction items. Our goal is to raise some money, of course, for the One Fly. John and I will remain almost, you guys are fishermen, 6 feet apart, and continue for the next hour to raise some money for the native cutthroat. So I would suggest that you grab a cocktail and join us, as John and I have. L'chaim. Cheers. Cheers out there. So, even though the tournament was canceled this year, as they say in the show business, the show must go on. Stay tuned. We got some live guests coming. We have a big surprise coming up a little bit later on that you have a chance to bid on. John and I are already in bidding process. If you have any questions about bidding, you should be able to take care of it right on your screen. John, we want to remind everybody that things close up at 7 o'clock tonight.
Sharp. Yep.
7 o'clock sharp.
Sure.
Do you have any advice?
I do have some advice. You know, as much as this thing is a slick operation and we're going new school on technology, I would highly encourage everybody to get their bids in early. You never know when that cell signal goes down or your internet connection is a little slow. So don't wait till the last minute. I know you got some strategy out there, but do us all a favor, get that bid in a little earlier than you might like.
If you're a wine drinker, we have some incredible once-in-a-lifetime opportunities to pick up some amazing wines. If you're into experiences, we have something on tap that I think you'll be pretty excited about. John, we couldn't do it without our sponsors, even though we're not having a tournament this year. We want to thank
We
our
sure couldn't. We sure
sponsors.
couldn't. Let me just begin this segment by calling out actually an unusual sponsor, in addition to our usual sponsors, which we'll highlight. And that is, I think everybody's aware at this point, but we have a special situation this year. We've had one of our wonderful members be willing to actually do a challenge grant of $50,000 for every dollar that we could raise between the start of this live auction and the end at 7 o'clock. So for every dollar that you've spent or do spend or donate before 7 o'clock, we have the chance for the foundation to double that, up to $50,000. Now the good news is we're off to a good start, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that. But our work is not done yet. We still have some room on these items. I want to leave at 7 o'clock, as does Fish here, with a big smile on our face.
And a good buzz.
And a good buzz that we actually did right by this wonderful sponsor, unnamed, anonymous donor who's challenged us in these times of no One Fly to still let the show go on. Now, all of you understand we have 2 fundraising initiatives this year, not 1, but 2. So in addition to just our usual stream grants, which is day in, day out, last time I checked, those trout still need habitat to be improved, whether we're in a COVID environment or not, we have an unusual donation this year to help support our guides and outfitters. And as everybody's probably already aware, but just at the risk of repeating, you know, the One Fly Foundation took a big step to actually fully fund to make our guide and outfitter partners whole this year. That was a big check, everybody knows, and that's in addition to what we normally will want to do with our grants. So we have twice the challenge in a virtual environment to do right by both our partners. Now, the usual suspects that we always look to every year, Thomas & Thomas, High Drift Boats, Hatch Reels, Yellow Dog Outfitters, Cortland Lines, Smith Optics, and Yeti Outdoors. You know, we thank them for all the silent items that you've donated to help make the silent a big success. Few items left. There's still a couple open items to get in there, but we've had a massive success thanks to our partners on the silent side, and we're about, I hope, to have a big success on the live side. Without much further ado, though, I would like to bring in a couple guests, going back to the theme of a thank you to our guides and outfitters who've been sitting silent on the sidelines this year. We all want to get back in the boats. Nobody more than me. I miss everybody in this tournament, but I'd like to just quickly introduce Will Dornan and Scott Smith to say or excuse me, actually, before I do that, I want to play a quick video because he couldn't make it, last minute change. If you don't mind, a few words quickly from our good friend Mike Dawkins over at Worldcast, who has a couple words to quickly say, and then we'll go to Will and Scott. Let's listen to what Mike has.
Those springtime meetings, whether fishing was going to open, whether the Forest Service was going to let us run, and all the strange. Yeah, I mean they put us through the hoops here, and I can't wait for next year to be doing this in a boat, and for us to be back out there. And John Holland, I want to say thank you for pulling all this together. And Sue for keeping everybody together on this, and for everybody out there, we'll see you on these boats next year, but let's keep this tradition going.
Well, good evening, everyone, and it's great to be here with you, Will, and everyone, and John and Sue, and everyone from the One Fly board and foundation. Thank you so much. On behalf of the guides, it's really it can't be overstated how fortunate and with a lot of gratitude we say thank you so much for that generous donation to kind of help these guides through. I mean, you know, we've had a really great summer here. I feel really blessed because I know so much of the country is hurting, and you know, in One Fly fashion, we had a storm the other night that, you know, typically the One Fly, you get the weather change, and it got me thinking about fall fishing. And today I was lucky to fish with John Holland and Reynolds Pomeroy, and we had a beautiful day, Dead Man's the Moose, and it was just brilliant blue sky, cutties, and about midday the fish just started eating. There were bugs. And you take that, you try not to take it, I never take it for granted, but it was just an amazing day. And it's, you know, just to be here, we wish everyone could be here with us, and we extend our gratitude to everyone out there who supports the One Fly. And we want to continue this tradition. And in the spirit of the One Fly, we're going to go fishing this weekend and be thinking of everyone. So. The guides say thank you, the outfitters as well. So, yeah.
I just say the guides are very grateful, and we're grateful, and let's keep this tradition going. We'll all be back out there on the next one.
Take that over here. We go. All right, thank you guys. Will, Scott, appreciate it. Smitty.
Listen, we're going to have some glitches tonight. We're going to bumble our way through this, but we're back on track. I want to make sure Mike Dawkins, who couldn't get over the pass today, because hopefully he was fishing and thinking about everybody who isn't on the river, he's got a quick word for all of you. Let's listen in to Mike.
Hello, Mike Dawkins from Worldcast Anglers here. Unfortunately, we won't be having the 2020 One Fly tournament and event. We're as disappointed as you not to get to show our competitive nature and spirit as outfitters, guides, and anglers in the Jackson Hole One Fly tournament. We wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you for your support from all the years of the One Fly tournament and events. Don't forget, you can support the Jacksonville One Fly and its great conservation projects in the online auction this year in 2020. Thanks again for everyone's support, and we'll see everyone in 2021.
Well, over the years of the Jacksonville One Fly, this event alone has raised almost, I think, 1.7, or just around $1.7 million. Last year was a record year. Obviously, this year is going to be much more of a challenge. We've had a number of bids come in just the last 5 minutes, so we thank you for that. The bidding is open till 7 o'clock. We're going to get to the auction in just a minute. But I encourage you to grab a cocktail. When you guys are here, you seem to bid a little more when you've had a little liquor. So have yourself a drink. John, what do you got?
Just a quick reminder, you can donate at any time through the next hour. If there's not an item that fits your fancy, no worries, just make a straight donation. We've come a long way with the hand bid technology to be able to let you bid right from your app while you're watching the show, or even if you for some reason can't make the bid by 7, we'll still be open to all donations through the weekend, but we want those bids to count before 7 because we want to hit that $50,000 match. But I think at this point we're going to turn over to the actual items, Fish. Let's talk a little bit about what's up for bid here. We've got probably, in my opinion, having run this thing for a few years now, the strongest lineup of actual auction items of all time. Now, I wish we could all be here to touch and feel this stuff, but we're doing our best through pictures to make sure you guys get a sense for what we got. But the first actual item I'd like to talk about up for bid, this is an incredible combination. I'd call it the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup of the One Fly auction. Because you're not bidding on one item, you're not bidding on 2 items, you're not bidding on 3 items, you're actually bidding on 4 items in one package. And that's called the Day in the Boat. It's pretty simple. It's all about fishing, it's all about storytelling, it's all about sharing that experience you talked about earlier, Fish, where you actually have the chance, which would be once in a lifetime in my opinion, to fish with one of the great legends of fishing, the son of probably one of the most famous authors of all time. We all know A River Runs Through It. Well, John McClain is the son of Norman McClain, and he himself is an acclaimed author and an award-winning author and journalist himself. Now, John, I've gotten to know over the years, he gets what we're doing here at the One Fly. He's a big fan. Didn't take him long for him to say, hey, I like what you guys are doing so much that I would love to donate a chance, just for the sake of charity, to fish with one of your lucky bidders tonight.
But that's not all.
No, it's not all actually, Fish. That's a good point. You're not just bidding on a chance to fish with John. You're bidding on a chance to fish guided by Scott Smith, who just was talking to you here, who's obviously an award, a podium winner on the snake side, as we all know. But you're getting 2 additional items that you're never going to see again. One would be an autographed first edition of John McClain's upcoming memoir to be published next summer. It's called Home Waters. No surprise there. A chronicle of a family and a river, and a copy of his dad's first edition, A River Runs Through It. 2 books, a great day, all in one package. I'd love for this to really represent what that Reese's Peanut Butter Cup looks like, because we're never going to see this again. This is a one-time deal.
Who did it last year? Who was the Day in the Boat with last year?
Last year we had a Day in the Boat with Mike Sudall, the great illustrator, Wall Street Journal pedigree. He's going to be coming out and fishing in the tournament next year. I forgot to mention, good point, that this trip will get redeemed on the Friday before next year's 2021 One Fly. So that Friday before the big event, you're going to fish with John McClain, just like the last year's winner will fish with Mike Sudall. So.
And I believe, if my memory serves me, this went for about $5,000 last year.
5 and change.
5 and change.
5 and change.
And the stories alone are going to be what? I mean, the fishing is going to be great, but you're going to remember the stories, and the river runs through it, and watch the movie, and then you're going to be there, and you're going to be doing that, and it's going to be slow motion. It's going to be killer.
I just spent the day with Scott Smith today. I'll tell you, the stories were worth at least $5,000, but that's just me. Anyway.
You can vote on that till 7 o'clock tonight.
Yeah, all these items.
Donate tab 2.
We are excited to offer that this year for the first time and probably the last time. Let's talk about the next item up.
So the next item up is right behind us. And it's kind of hard to see, and we don't really want to take them up. But, John, why don't you explain this? I mean, you have a way better clue than
So
I
everybody
do.
knows. So they've been to this auction live before. We've auctioned off individual, a couple dozen flies every year, right? Whether it's Sanchez or Will Dornan, who we just had here, Brian Byerly, we usually get a pretty enthusiastic response to those flies. We're doing it a little differently this year. We're actually going to take all those ties that they would normally fly, that we'd live auction off, that for thousands of dollars, and we put them into one big basket. This is called the big box for a reason. So the big box is not just all of their flies, the commercial tires in one place to bid on, but it comes in an amazing, one-of-a-kind Farlow and Sons limited edition oak reservoir straight out of London. This thing can pack in 300 flies, Fish.
How many cigars?
No cigars.
We can make it a humidifier if you're interested.
But I'll tell you what, I mean, we've got the range covered. You got your one flies, your mayflies, you've got your big pike flies from Will Dornan, you name it, this thing has it. So we're talking over 100 plus flies right here in one box, handsomely displayed for your bidding pleasure. We're never going to do this again, by the way, and put them all in one spot.
Over the years that I've been here at the One Fly, we've done rod cases. They're heavy. You got to schlep them around. If you're, you'll never have to buy a fly again. I mean, if you're going to go pike fishing, there's flies in there. If you're going to go saltwater fishing, any kind of that, there's flies there. If you're going to go gefilte fishing, there are no flies there. But we'll make one for you.
This is truly one of a kind, actually. There's some beautiful flies. I wish you could get them closer to you, but I think you saw the photos online. But wait, there's more. It's not just Dornan, it's not just Sanchez, and it's not just Byerly. It's actually all three of those plus Jack Dennis and Randall Kaufman's flies. So you're getting 5 of the best top fly tires of all time, dozens of flies. I actually stopped counting them, to be honest. But they're all right here in this box. 6 drawers, 300 flies capacity. You can just keep filling these in the future live auction. One-stop shop.
Bidding's open till 7 o'clock. As John mentioned, 2 main causes this year. Stream improvements, no shocker there.
Yep.
And again, you heard from the guides, and I thought Scott said something great, that, you know, they depend on this event.
Yeah.
They do. And financially. And, you know, a lot of people have been hit by this thing, including our guides here. So your donations tonight, again, as John said too, if you're not interested in buying or, you know, bidding on an item, there's a donate button. Make it $100, make it $200. You tip that guy anyway this weekend, so.
I keep looking to my left because we're making progress toward that 50,000 goal, so keep it coming. We got a little ways to go, people, so don't hold back. We'd love to get there sooner rather than later. I'll tell you what, though, it might be time to talk about fish. I don't know about you, but I'm ready to travel. I know we're not quite there yet. We got a few things to work out in COVID and all that good stuff. Like, I'm not impatient, but I am starting to get the itch and the Jones.
And the cool thing about this next item up for bid, if I'm not mistaken, there is a pretty lenient time frame.
There is. That's a
Okay.
good point. Yeah, it's not just something you can redeem in 1 year. It's something you can redeem in 2 years. And I'm talking about who else wants, besides me, to get on the first plane to Patagonia. This is one of those great trips that we're lucky and fortunate enough to have every year, where you have 2 sticks going to Argentina, all the hospitality that usually comes with that program. Tons of people, by the way, at the One Fly that have done this and highly recommend this program. Rather than hear it from me, let's just hear a little bit about what this program is all about. Take a couple minutes. Let's hear about El Encuentro.
Fly fishing is like part of my life. It's I think I spent more time on a river than anywhere else in the world. We are 5 in my family, 5 brothers and sisters. We grew up in a big, noisy home. We would spend our summers right here at El Encuentro. We just needed to walk 100 yards and we were fishing. We've been guiding here for 20 years. It's a great way to keep the family together. In the early 1970s, my father got a job in London to come and manage one of the sections of a great estancia within the province of Chubut in Patagonia. And once they set foot in the area, they said they were never leaving. My father ran this property for about 10 years, and then he came up with the idea of starting a little lodge. El Encuentro Fly Fishing started off in 1985. My father and my mother, they opened up the doors to anglers that came to the area and fished. I started fly fishing when I was very young. I would watch guests come and visit us from all over the world. That took me to become a fishing guide myself. El Encuentro Fly Fishing is focused on the fishing program. That's our main goal. 4 main species that we fish for: rainbow trout, brown trout, brook trout, and landlocked salmon. The area where we're based is so vast and huge, so many different rivers, lakes, and streams, and the variety is endless. The approach we have focused on is to try and work relationships with different lodges based in different areas within the province of Chubut. We have achieved a great fishing program spread out throughout the area based on what fish is best at what time of the season. El Encuentro Fly Fishing has access to all the main rivers, the famous rivers that people have heard about, such as the Rivadavia or the Carrileufu, the Rio Futaleufu. At the same time, we focus a lot on exploring, so we have a great bunch of rivers that are maybe not well known. Part of the partnership with the lodges is that we bring our own gear and fully equipped guides. That allows for the guests to spend the whole week or the whole time of their stay with the same guide. All of the guides have a great sense of humor, and they can give you a great day on the river. It's a small group of guides. We're only 5 or 6. That's what makes it special, I think. Your guide is with you throughout the week, and you get to know your guide and he gets to know you. Argentina it's a great destination to come fly fishing, but it's also great to combine it on the cultural side. Argentina is a country made out of immigrants, and it has the influence of the Spanish, the Italians, all these different cultures. All of us are native Argentines. We enjoy people that visit us from different parts of the world. We really want people that visit us to feel at home. We see a lot of our clients year after year, and we become more than friends. They become family. We hope that people feel that way, that's what they take back home. The guests that visit us really become part of our lives.
Hey, I got my cocktail. Thanks, Jess. Sorry, while you were enjoying that video. Again, this is almost like 2 fishing trips in one, right?
It is 2 in 1.
Yeah, it is 2 in
Like,
one.
when's the last time you had the chance to say, I'm going to go catch a trophy brook trout one part of the week for a few days, eat some great empanadas, have some great Argentine wine and hospitality, and then change camps and go to another camp to catch the largest brown and rainbow of your life?
I caught a trophy wife. I'm good. Great fishing, as John mentioned. Great hospitality down there. And read the fine print. John and I will be joining you. So we're going to have a great time. Trust me. It'll be fun.
This, by the way, this is a retail trip that's close to $12,000. So
Where are we sitting right now? Can we say?
we're at 7. We got some room, people. Let's bid this one up.
$12,000 value. Currently sitting about $7,000.
Exactly.
All right. I'm not a wine guy. Actually, John, why don't you take over for the wines? I'll grab my wine, and you can talk about the fancy
You
wines.
know, I'm a wine guy, but we'll go through these pretty quickly because there's not a whole lot to say because they're so exceptional. 2 bottles of wine only at this moment to bid on. The first is what I would call, look, it's near perfection in a bottle. I mean, there's no doubt. I mean, this is a
I thought that was Barbara Eden.
Chateau Latour Grand Cru 2015 98 Robert Parker score. I mean, that's as close to perfection as you're probably going to get in a
A
bottle.
plus, A plus.
This is legit stuff. We've been fortunate to have a little bit of Latour before, not this year, maybe not this Parker score. This could be the top of the heap. It's a bottle that's donated by our good friend Mike Engels, who picks nothing but the best. Sky's the limit. If you want a bottle that's perfection inside, this is your bid. It's just bite size.
If you've got a special occasion coming up, anniversary, bar mitzvah, wedding.
Yeah, this is the one.
This is
a
it.
good one.
Into COVID, might be a good time to break that thing out.
I'll tell you, the next bottle of wine for me, if I had to really get sentimental for a minute, this could be the item of the auction. And I'll tell you why, Fish. So the next bottle up is a 1981 Magnum. Not just a regular, a Magnum, a 1.5 liter Chateau Margaux. This isn't just another bottle of wine. This is what I would call the spirit of the one fly in a bottle.
A gift.
A gift, but not just a gift because the wine is an incredible Robert Parker score. It's a gift because this bottle was given by our dear friend Chuck Walker, who, as you know, recently
away.
passed
Yeah.
in July. Chuck was such a great one fly supporter. I actually had the extreme pleasure of fishing with Chuck 3 years ago. This guy couldn't be more representative of what the spirit of the one fly is.
You and I were talking before tonight's event about that day and the stories that you feel so fortunate to have been in on that day.
Yeah, Chuck ups the ante. I'll tell you what, I'm going to put a challenge out. The next person that I fish with in one fly, I sure hope they show up with a box of cigars, including ones for all of us. Great stories.
Not Swisher Sweets either.
No, these are Cubanos, the good stuff. Chuck was a generous human being who wanted us all to have a good time. Laughs, jokes, you name it. Excellent fisherman. But what makes this bottle special to me is not just that it encapsulates everything that Chuck was all about. Chuck bought this bottle in 1981, the year his son was born. And he, because of his big heart and his love for the one fly, decided to donate this bottle in June to us for the auction. It's a special bottle.
Prior to his passing, and then blessings from his
Just
wife.
a few short weeks before his passing. So for me, this bottle represents everything good about the one fly. Whatever you can do in terms of bidding up this price, you're giving back to the one fly. It's not just great wine, which you'll enjoy, and it's, you know, a 2X on format size. This is love in a bottle, if you had to ask me.
If you got a special occasion, I'm sure Chuck would want you to have this wine that he bought on a special occasion during your special occasion. You bid on it till 7 o'clock. We got actually one more bottle that just came in. This is a 2019 Kendall Jackson.
Half open.
Half open. Retails for about $14.99 down at Smith's.
Yeah.
And we're going to start the bidding around, I don't know, $2,000. $2,000.
We're at that point in the programming where we've got a couple really special items. Like, I can't think of the last time we had two unique items like this that I'm personally super excited about. It's both one-time firsts. And the first actually item up for bid is, first of all, trip for four. We've never had that in the recent past. It's a trip for 4 sticks, 2 days of fishing, and an overnight at the infamous South Fork Lodge River Camp.
I hear they're under new management.
They are under new management. I gather Oliver White has partnered up with a guy, I don't know, I think you might have heard of him. His name's Jimmy Kimmel.
I've heard of him.
Have you heard of that guy?
He took
Yeah.
my job. Yeah, I kind of remember.
But listen, I don't want to sit here and talk about this trip because guess what? Oliver White is come over and he's going to tell you all a little bit more about what he's offering this year.
Welcome.
What's happening?
Everybody's there, ready to hear about this incredible, once-in-a-lifetime trip.
Yeah, you know, the overnight on the canyon of the South Fork is one of the, you know, the greatest trips in America. There's not many multi-day floats around, and this is one of them. You will kind of float into the canyon, get a great day of fishing, stay at camp. The camp experience alone is really rad. You know, we send somebody in there to cook, and so you have great food, great booze, hanging out, and then you float out of the canyon the next day. And you can come anytime. You can try to catch the salmon flies. You can come later, do hoppers. One of the other cool things is if you're in camp and the mutant stones are going off, you can get up super early and you're kind of right in the heart of it where they're not getting messed with, and just a lot of opportunity to do really fun stuff. And I think it's one of the best trips in the area.
Questions for you before you go. Before we get to that, though, again, just a reminder, it's driving distance, of course, from this area. So if you're going to be here, you can knock out some other water while you're here. And then this is for 4 people. Like John said, we don't normally have trips for 4. All right, so my 2 questions are, one, we're coming to you live tonight from the palatial Snake River Angler here just off the town square. And you used to work here, right?
Yeah, when I graduated college, I came out to Jackson for the summer. Carter Andrews brought me out, actually.
Good
and,
friend.
And he set me up a job, actually, in this exact building. It was High Country Flies then. I worked for Howard and Jimmy, and that was my first introduction to the area. And then started guiding and really have tried to be out here every summer since. So, at this stage, that's about half my life.
Yeah, we met your family. They're here. And who's the little person?
Yeah, my little boy, Huckleberry.
Huckleberry, is he fishing yet?
Oh, yeah, we whaled on him today.
All right. Yeah. All right, so that was my first question. My second question is, there was a rumor floating around earlier that you're going to be fishing in the One Fly next year.
That's what I hear. Yeah, that'll be
That's
a
what you
first.
hear?
Yeah.
All right.
High expectations. But yeah, feel very fortunate. Get to go fish in it. We were supposed to be this year. Get a reschedule. And I've never fished in it. So excited. It's going to be fun.
All right. And actually, I have one more question. Where did you get that shirt?
Oh, these all come from Howler Brothers. And I think they probably sell them right here in this store.
All right. There you go. Donations till 7 o'clock. This trip over there, 4 anglers, the nights, the camping, the food, the fishing. Camaraderie.
I'll tell you what, if you guys bid up a little bit, I'll either guide or come to camp and cook and hang out and have some drinks, tell some stories, get you excited about some other stuff.
Are you saying bid up beyond $87.50?
Oh, we're getting up there.
$9,000
Yeah.
here, Oliver.
All right, one more bid. We need one more bid.
All right.
Well, you can bid till 7 o'clock. Right now
One
the
more
bid's at
bid.
$87.50. Again, thank you for your. We didn't know if anybody was going to be tuned in. We thought we might be just talking to ourselves tonight, and this was going to be just echoed through the internets. But for those that are tuned in, sorry you're not here. Believe us, we are really missing seeing everybody this weekend. But Oliver, thanks to you. We have another cool trip lined up. John, you want to come in and talk about that? Here, Oliver, just kind of stand here. Can we do that? You have a...
I'll tell you what, I'm not sure I'm qualified to talk about this trip. Oliver might have a little bit more to be able to offer. But before we go to that, I just want everybody to understand, we're talking about 4 rods, 2 days in the canyon at probably the most deluxe camp there is. I mean, I know this is a heady number. Ooh, we just got up to $97.50. Oliver, whatever you're saying is working. It must have been that you're going to host camp.
Well, I'm in now. I'm hosting camp.
I have to say that might have done it, but I'm not qualified to talk about our next item. You're not qualified.
I'm not qualified.
You might not even be qualified, but
out of my league.
Maybe you can at least tee up what we're bidding on next, and we might even be having a message from our sponsor.
Before you do that, talk about once in a lifetime experiences. This is it.
Yeah, no, this is a once in a lifetime. Yeah, Jimmy Kimmel is my partner in the South Fork Lodge.
Have you ever met him?
We hang out a little bit.
Cool.
And fly fishing is his favorite thing. And so he's donated a trip to Hollywood. For whatever reason you'd want to go to Hollywood, go see his show. And he's going to hang out with you after the show and put you up in a hotel. So we'll let him tell you about that.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Kimmel. As you may have heard, Oliver White and I have taken possession of the South Fork Lodge, and I am an avid fly fisherman. I love, in fact, this is my garage. I'll give you a little tour. All of these, you see, I've got every possible piece of equipment. I've got rods, I've got reels, I've got boots, I've got waders, I've got thick pants, I've got thin pants, and I I have a problem is what I have. But anyway, I'm also donating a trip to Hollywood if for whatever reason you want to come here, to come to my show once we have an audience again, and to stay at the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel. We will have a meet and greet afterwards. We can talk about fishing. I'll show you all pictures of the trout that I've captured and released, and I look forward to winning this event one day. So I'll hopefully see you guys in person, if not next year, very soon. And thanks for supporting One Fly.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Come on.
once in a lifetime hanging out. I
Yeah.
mean, I kind of see like,
Seriously.
this is how it goes, you know, like Jimmy and I are like chilling back in the green room, and John walks in. He's like, "Hey, what are you guys doing?" I was like, "I don't know, thinking about going to get some ice cream." And Jimmy's like, "I love ice cream." That's how I see it.
Seriously. I mean, this is honestly, I mean, it's such a treat to be able to offer this up. Oliver, thank you very much. Jimmy Kimmel, we love you, man. Happens to be my favorite show, but this one ain't going to come around again. You are bidding on a chance to actually go see Jimmy live. Think about this. Stay at the Roosevelt Hotel and meet and greet Jimmy. Not just meet and greet. Let's talk fishing, man. This guy loves to fish. I mean, I don't know what this memory will be for you, but I mean, if you want to, I mean, we could actually see if somebody wants to take you and add to that package.
Yeah, if you
It
take
is
me,
2 tickets.
yeah.
I mean, just saying. I don't know if you want to sweeten it, and they can take you, or they can take their significant other. But this is unbelievable.
Dude, I'll be way more fun. Way more fun.
I mean, Jackson and Winter, wherever you are, like, when's the next time that you're going to get this chance? This guy is a passionate fisherman. We are excited, by the way, to have Jimmy in the Valley. Oliver's been a great, great, great sponsor to us this year. Clearly, somebody likes Oliver's cooking, because we're getting close to $10,000.
Yeah.
So.
And the Jimmy tickets, thank you for bidding on that. Just
Nice
jumped
bump
up.
there.
Yeah, a little
Nice
bump
bump.
up there. We
Little-
only got one more item, so if you've been saving, you haven't broken out your checkbook yet, we got one more item up for bid, and if you're a wine lover, again, we're going to talk about that. But before we move on
Yeah, I'd
from
like
Jimmy,
to do a roll call here.
yeah, let's see where we stand. And we keep moving, looking to our left because,
Wow.
like the Labor Day telethon in Jerry
We're-
Lewis days, I know
we're-
some of you guys remember Jerry Lewis, I know.
We're getting close, people. We're not quite there, but I don't want to leave any money on the table tonight. I mean, nickels, dimes, $1,000, anything that you can contribute so that we don't leave that $50,000 match on the table. It's a special gift, and it's a once in a lifetime. I think it actually has a lot to do with the extra effort we're making with the guys and outfitters. Look, we're all not on the river today. We all want to be out there. Everybody does. I was out there today because I live here, and I'm fortunate to live here. But just floating the snake, hitting the riffles, talking with Scott Smith. I got to be honest. I missed not having everybody here this year. This, though, I feel like at least we're all part of the connected community. We're doing our best in tough times to support all the things that we normally love and miss the most. So thank you in absentia for being a part of this community. I mean, we are seeing these numbers move just every time we look to the left. But let's talk about where the current bid is. I think that's a good idea, Fish. I mean, let's do a little roll call. We're getting close to the end.
Our first item up for bid, and again, just a reminder, you can bid on these till 7 o'clock. You got 20 more minutes. Don't dilly-dally. If you want to go online and you can look more about some of the details on all these auction items, there's only a
right.
couple of them. Go online. If you're into wine, we got wine. We got another item coming up, but we also have some pretty fancy bottles right now that, John, those are legit prices. That's a good deal, I think, on both of those bottles right now.
No, there are. I mean, let's be honest. Like A Day in the Boat with John McClane. Look, we were fortunate. John actually was generous. He gave us a copy of his dad's book, as you know, for this year. We put it in the silent auction. $660 for one book. That book is a priceless piece of memoria. It's a piece of Americana, so I don't know how to put a price on that. The Little Blue Book is something that doesn't come across your table every day. You're getting John's next book himself. This guy is a really interesting dude, by the way. As we know, he lives up in Montana. He was the Washington correspondent for the Chicago Tribune. He's covered smoke jumpers, firefighters. Like, he writes some of the best books, and his memoirs, I guarantee you, have a lot to do with fishing. But you know what? I'm going to actually remind myself of something we forgot. Beyond all this package stuff, we talked about adding some news, right? Some updates,
You got
things
some
that
news?
people don't know. I do have some news.
Oh.
John McClane is going to be fishing in the one fly next year, Fish.
Wow.
He's going to be right up there, right against Oliver White, apparently, who's fishing. And I don't think anybody really mentioned who one of Oliver's teammates is. Did you hear him say who he's
I didn't
fishing
hear
with?
him say he had a teammate. I just said
Well,
I
he's
heard
got one teammate. He's kind of salty, though. But they're both rookies here. Rookies, I don't know. Flip Pallet is kind of this guy that is legendary stuff. I mean, he's friends with Lefty Cray, who obviously passed. He fishes the flats. He's a super fishy dude. Flip Pallet and Oliver, they're going to be fishing this thing next year, Fish. I don't know about that. That's going to be tough competition.
I just want to say real quick before we get to our last couple of items and continue on with kind of our update. As I said earlier, if you're just tuning in, all the nonprofits out there are hurting this year. They're trying to figure out ways to raise money and have fundraisers without having people. And I want to say thanks to John. This is all his mindset. And, normally I think it's easier just to say, hey, we're going to have COVID. We're going to just call it a year and we'll try to do something next year. But John is so passionate, as is the board and the committee here. And obviously all you, if you're tuned in on a Friday night to watch us.
Us clowns,
and, again, thank you for taking the time. Remember your favorite nonprofits. Know that they are hurting this year.
Good point.
And the One Fly appreciates your support.
Let's just talk a little bit about where we're at. I mean, there's room, but we're doing well. So I want to just quickly shout out Day in the Boat is where I was going on that. We're at a little over $3,000. I can't put a price on this trip. I just know that you're getting a day of guided fishing and you're getting a couple really memorable and important books. First editions, tough to get.
The big box, it's got 6 layers. It's right here. Beautiful box. It's got flies for any kind of fishing. Salt, fresh.
Beautiful fish.
Yeah, and I don't know what the value on this is, but
Oh, that one.
you would never need to buy another fly. If you're going any kind of fishing, it's in this box. I'm surprised it's at only, I think, $4,000 right now.
What would you pay for the knowledge that next year's One Fly winning fly is in this box?
Likely
That's
in
the
this box,
question.
yeah. But you just got to go through and fish every one of them to figure it out. That's the thing.
We got plenty of fish.
What's next? Excuse me, ladies. We're trying to look at that board there. So the trip there.
Oh, getting there, people.
Yeah, this is a $10,000 trip.
This is a deal right now.
10
We're
to
not going to
12
get this
right
get
now.
away from us.
$8,500. Good
Come
deal
on.
there.
Empanadas, the biggest brook trout of your life. Rainbows, browns, Argentine hospitality, 2 camps. 2 camps. By the way, the Beal family who donated this trip, there are dozens of people who have come through the One Fly that have fished this camp, and they go back again and again and again. I don't want to name names because they love this place. That's not the point. The point is this is as good as it's going to get in the bowels of Argentina, Patagonia, hospitality. I lived in Buenos Aires for 6 months. I know what this is all about. This is as good as it gets.
We have some super special wines for that special occasion. The Latour is under $1,000 right now, as is the Chateau Margaux. I stayed at the Chateau Margaux in Amsterdam, by the way. It was lovely, lovely.
What else we got? Ooh, River Camp, still at 10 grand is the next asking number.
Yeah, just under 10 right now. You heard it from Oliver there. Jimmy Kimmel, this is a once in a lifetime. 2 tickets to the show.
Should I take you? Should I get out and
John,
bid right
bid
now?
on that, and you and I'll go.
I mean, these guys, I don't know what they're doing out there, but
I mean, it's a steal right now at
$3,100. Come on, people.
$3,100.
I think I may just hit that bid right now. What do you think?
Do it. The hotel alone's probably $3,100.
Well, if you
And
guys
it's on
aren't-
Jimmy's dime.
If you're not going to do it, I'm going to do it. I mean, come on.
And then we have one more
Yes,
item, and let's
we
get
do.
to that thanks to Tom and Lisa. You want to talk about
Look,
that?
every year, our wonderful board members, both now, Tom and Lisa Smith, they dig deep into their cellar, which is a fantastic wine cellar. They give, last year was a case of unbelievable California cabs. I mean, it's incredible the generosity of these guys. Tom and Lisa have found probably 6 of the most special reds on the planet. The names are from across the globe. They're as good as they get. You might even rattle them off, Fish, because I can't pronounce these French words. They're just so good. No, this is Harlan. Like, this is...
Harlan.
Harlan.
I worked at a Club Med.
Let's see.
98, yeah.
Yeah.
I did, Bahamas.
All right.
98 Harlan Estate. You got a Chateau Mouton Rothschild. You got an Othelia. Oh, that's an Ornelia, I think.
Yes.
A Chateau Grade La Rose.
Yes.
Penfolds, Grange, South Australian Shiraz, and a Schaefer Napa Valley Stag's Leap District.
Honestly, like
We should have had Tom.
A, you're never going to find these wines on a menu. B, to buy for your cellar. C, they've been in Tom and Lisa's perfectly maintained cellar. D, I mean, the retail of these has got to be $5,000. I mean, it's just literally like you're never going to find these wines again. So right now we're giving them away at this price. This
Pretty
is ridiculous.
much. Well, we're seeing
think-
something move over there. What's
I think
that,
we can
Jess?
do better out there in the One
That's
Fly
the
community.
trip to
Every dollar you
Patagonia.
spend right now and for the next 15 minutes only is going to be a 2-for-1. 2-for-1 on the value. Now, we're getting darn close, but not close enough to getting the full 50,000. So
Explain that what that means, because people might have come in late.
yeah, so basically the simple concept is we have a great participant, probably one of the best human beings on the planet, who wants to remain anonymous, who loves this tournament more than I do, more than you do, more than almost any other angler. He loves what we're doing and our great foundation cause. So he told me a few months ago, in this very strange year, look, if the show must go on and we're going to do the live auction, I would like to create a wonderful incentive to have every dollar that is spent or donated. So it could be an auction item. It could be just a straight donation.
Yep.
Could be $1, could be $100,000, or 50 is probably the better example. Every dollar up to the $50,000, he's going to match dollar for dollar himself. Our hard job right now, as you've figured out, is to get
To that
50,000 spent. But if we get there, every single dollar will be matched to 100. So we actually, in the last hour, we started a little bit when the live auction bids opened yesterday. We actually had the opportunity to earn for our foundation $100,000 in 2 days. 50 thanks to all you, 50 thanks to this wonderful benefactor who's really rooting for us to get to 50. Now,
You
we
think
got
he's
a little.
online right now, or she?
I think he is. I think it's a he. I'll be
You think he's
revealing
sweating?
that.
He's like,
He's sweating because we're not there. He's
so
like,
close.
he knows that there's still some upside to El Encuentro, which is a $12,000 trip. He knows there's upside to 6 Impossible Reds. He knows that the day in the boat, come on.
got
you're not
12
gonna get that
minutes
trip
left
again.
to bid. 12 minutes.
But-
okay? We're going to shut it down at 7 o'clock. We're going to cut off the bids, and then I have some awards to give away. It wouldn't be the one fly
But let me
if I
just
didn't give
let
away
me
some
just
awards.
check, because technically, there is one more opportunity if it's still available. I'm going to check. Sorry about the quick stage check here. There's one silent item that hasn't been
His
bid on.
screenshot is Jimmy Kimmel. It's weird,
There's
right?
one silent item, no mockery, that has not been bid on at the beginning. I'm going to check right now. Yes. So there's a trip to Alaska for a week at Rainbow King, which is one of our anglers' favorite trips. $6,000 entry price. That's it. This is a $9,000 trip. You can buy it now for $8,000. But this trip, I've talked to this donor. He said, not just the live, but if this silent trip goes in this window before 7, nobody's bid on this. And every year, everybody bids on this trip. I don't know what the deal is. This trip counts. So there's a $6,000 entry point. 1 week, at Alaska, full Monty, full service fishing that Rainbow King is a well-known brand that everybody loves.
And
It's not bid on right now.
Let me just ask you real quick, because we talked about this about another trip. The window to utilize this item is
It's a good
lenient.
question. Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, look, I think this donor is a regular. He's a generous human being. If you can't get there in the next 12 months, I bet he'd be flexible within the next 2 months. So whether it's El Encuentro that we talked about,
Great deal on that at
this
$4
isn't
grand
the
right
next
now.
12 months trip to Argentina. We have flexibility to over the next 24 months because there's a lot of uncertainty out there right now. But the point is, we all want to get back on the road and start traveling. So our partners have been great and we asked them to have some flexibility, and they gave it to us.
Let's thank those partners too. We couldn't do it without Hyde.
For sure.
The Hyde family normally donates a boat. You didn't buy raffle tickets this year for the boat, so you might as well make that donation.
Well, fish, but we got one arm tied behind our back right now because we didn't have the big fish pool this year. So where we normally would get an extra $15,000 in donations, we're not getting that this year. So we're working harder to get to this match than we might normally have to.
And that sort of balances out because I don't have a tab this year.
Right. That's
So,
true. So the net deduct from
balance,
that.
right.
Yeah. I mean, that plus 1,000 if somebody's willing to match that.
Carrier one.
Right. No, we don't have some of the revenue streams that we normally do to help fund the foundation.
Yeah, Thomas and Thomas.
Hatch
usually
reels.
give us rods and hatch with the reels. And
Cortland.
Yellow
Smith,
Dog Outfitters.
Yellow Dog Outfitters, always there.
Cortland Lines, Johanna Foods. They usually
Johanna
have a team.
Foods, yes. They're the sponsor of the boat that gets donated.
And Yeti as well. And you
Yeti's
mentioned Smith. So
Fantastic
thanks to all
partners.
those sponsors. Utilize those products. So we got about, what's our official time there? We got about 7 minutes left, 6 minutes
Oh,
left.
but do we have any digital awards this year or unfly as you call it?
Yeah,
awards?
so I was going to give the 2020
I don't know.
Jackson Hole Unfly Awards. But before, do you want to do that now or when we're figuring out the totals? I don't want to
Either way, I mean, we do have some time.
No,
let's
let's
do it
tease
now.
that.
Let's
We'll
go
wait.
into it.
We'll wait. No, let's
This
wait.
is a long list. I mean, I'll think of all
We're gonna wait.
these clowns.
Because there's some cool things that and this would have been the 35th anniversary of the Jackson Hole One Fly.
Oh, wait a
And-
minute.
And for the first time in all those years, some really interesting things happened.
I'm going to give you a couple of updates. We promised some updates. We promised about a couple. We gave you a couple new contestants. We told you John McClain, of all people, is going to be fishing next year. We talked about Oliver. We talked about Flip Pallet. You know, we haven't talked about one thing that I think is kind of neat, and that is
8 minutes left. 8 minutes.
a lot of people don't realize, but you know, behind the scenes, there's been a Skunk Works project going on. I've been trying to help, but you know, 35 years is a big deal, right? Now it should have been 35 this year. It'll be 35th in some ways next year because we didn't fish this year. 35 years that this tournament has been happening year after year after year, uninterrupted. There's been ups and downs, trials and tribulations. It's a bit of the ABC wide world of sports, right? When you think about it, there's the agony of defeat, the thrill of victory. We've had so many remarkable comebacks. I've come in second a couple times that I shouldn't have, but anyway, we won't get into that. However, you know, we decided in honor of the 35th this year to do a little bit of a memorial to this great tournament that we all participate in. And I'm probably for the first time here today letting you all know that next year you have something to look forward to that you weren't aware of. And that is, it won't come out next year, but we've been working in a Skunk Works project to create a One Fly documentary. So I'm talking about a highly polished 10 to 12 minute documentary that really highlights the ups and downs, the love, the passion, the angst, all of the above that we all know, love, and fear every year in this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, you hear stories about guides, you know, diving down to untie a fly or climbing a tree.
Right.
You know, some of the friendships and some of the celebrities that have fished in this event, some of the people it's helped.
Yep.
And part of the stream improvement project, again, and
Point.
Native Cutthroat this year is we're trying to make little baby tiny masks for the entire population of fish. So your donations
Big job.
help.
It's a big job.
Yeah.
But the point being that if you're out there
No
and
ears, that's
everybody who was in the tournament this year is automatically grandfathered into next year, we just want you to know there's a little extra something going on next year in terms of maybe, you might not be, knowing that you're being filmed, or we're doing our best to capture that, the spirit of this great event that we all know and love. And, stay tuned, right? This is a 2-year project. We're going to make it happen. You may see a couple cameras around next year. In fact, we're blessed tonight that the wonderful gentleman to my left that you can't see, who's filming us right now, is our partner in making this documentary. So I'm personally quite excited to be able to come into next year having a little extra something to think about when I'm at the tournament, because I'm a newbie.
Bring your nice clothes next year.
Yeah, get some beauty
I'm
sleep.
looking at you, Drew Miller.
A little beauty sleep, all that. It's going to be a fun year. We got some special tricks up our sleeve already. But thank you all for continuing. Every time I look to my left, my neck's getting hurt. But these numbers are going up, people. So you're doing what you need
Got
to do.
about 3 minutes left to bid.
I need $2,500. I mean, less than $3,000 right now. $3,000 to get to a full match. So we have moved the needle in one day within striking distance. I do not want to be disappointed when I pick up the phone in 15 minutes and call our donor and say, you know what, we kind of came up short. I mean, this is like the final 10 minutes of the one fly where you're still in the game, you're fishing the fly, it hasn't broken off, and you're not dying on the vine because the guide is there too and he wants you to win this tournament. Somebody please dive in the grenade and bring home $2,500 to make my and Fish's life much easier. I'd like to have a victory here right now. Would you?
So close.
2 minutes.
3 minutes. Sorry, just
striking
under
distance.
3 minutes.
3 minutes. I mean, come on.
And then we have an incredible behind-the-scenes team. As soon as the bids close,
That's right.
It's called hand
bid. Yeah.
So as soon as the bids close, we'll know exactly who, what, and where, and when, and who got what. So stay tuned.
Ellen Quintra.
That is
Starting to get close to retail here. 10,000.
What, we got a message coming in? Okay, what does that say?
I don't know if that's possible.
Oh, see, this is live TV.
You know, this is a great question that I don't have the answer to, but the question is the trip for 2021 only, or could we go in 2022? I think if we really work with our partners, they would probably be comfortable working with us. I mean, I can't guarantee it, so don't.
It's Kit Seacrest.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we got 2 minutes, and that's a great question. And
look,
we don't know.
I think,
to be honest with you, we don't know what next week is going to entail. Really,
I can't guarantee it, but I'm optimistic, is how I put it. The question hadn't been asked, but I do think that's actually the case. So I might stick my neck out a little bit here, but in strange times, people are being more accommodating. So
this is our first global pandemic. So
come on,
we
people!
might not be
Seriously,
able to
we
answer
are
that.
$1,000.
Oh,
Just 1,000.
You got it?
Whoa!
We got it with
Who
a
was
big
that?
bear.
Who was that? $50,000. That was not COVID friendly. I'm sorry. So thank you, people, for responding at the 12th hour. We have 1 minute left.
Oh man.
I like to personally exceed expectations. So if I can actually finish up strong, I know that we have guides and outfitters and fish, cutthroats on the stem of the snake, both sides of the pass that need your help. I mean, this is going to bring tears in my eyes if I sit up here too long. But I know how much pull there is out there, and thank you for being the wonderful donors that you all are each and every year.
Usually on Friday night, I'm trying to get you quiet, and I didn't have to do that tonight. You were able to sit down in the comfort of your own library, study, /den/kitchen/office. Maybe you're in your car watching it on your phone. We got, what does that say? We got 21 seconds. 21 seconds. This is the official Clock from RC.
Wow.
And again, the documentary. Don't go away, though, because we're going to
Hey.
give away some 10 seconds.
Shout out to whoever put in the bid for Chuck Walker's Chateau Margaux. You're a lovely human being who put that.
And that
together.
will wrap up the 2020 Jackson Hole virtual One Fly auction on a Friday night. Next year, fingers crossed, we'll be back wherever it may be in the valley. We'll be here. And
I'll
thank
tell you what. I'll tell you what's going to be nice. So the good news is, all you people who have registered, while we calculate the winners, all they've registered. You know, every year, I don't know about you, but I feel like I get a lot of grief for the live auction. It's noisy. People are unhappy. They can't hear. They're like too busy having to go back to the tables. The list goes on. But the cause is the right cause, and everybody gets the joke on it. But this year, we pioneered something new, Fish.
Yeah.
So next year, if you're sitting out there in the audience, you don't need to go walk back to the table to have that, that guy or that gal outbid you. You could just sit at your table like we're doing here, talking amongst friends, hit a finger button, and you're bidding not on only the silent but the live. So stay tuned on this feature for next year, because I actually think that this will make Friday's auction more successful and actually more social without any extra effort.
Before
You know what I mean? Like, do you hear all these comments every year?
Before you get all freaked out about that, for you people that have been doing the One Fly for years, we used to write the scores on a whiteboard. We would be at the gun barrel, and we'd use the pen, and the scores would come in, and we'd add them up on a adding machine and write it up on the board. And one year we decided we were just going to change thing and make it electronic. And people were like, well, we can't figure this out. We can't figure this out. But next year, when we move to this hand bidding system on your smartphones, it's going to make life a lot easier. I think we're getting some final totals. While we're working on that, so, John?
Yep. Totals are coming. Oh, do you have some awards? Or?
Well, they're not really awards.
Okay.
These are some observations about this year's Unfly. So this is the first year in all 35 years that no angler has lost a fly. This is the first year no flies have been lost.
Nobody lost a fly?
No one lost a fly yet.
Seriously?
Not yet.
Wow.
This is also the first in 35 years that nobody has forgotten to purchase their fishing license. Great job, team.
Good point, Fish.
Should be very proud of yourself.
Good point.
And this is interesting. I know we have Scott Smith here, one of the ace guides. This One Fly, this is monumental, John.
Okay.
In
all
all
ears.
in all of the years of One Fly,
Yeah.
no guide missed a meeting.
First time?
First time in 34 years, because it's the 30. Every guide, every meeting, on time, somewhere early.
Is that right?
That's true.
Well, we're just trying to do our best. We're trying to help these guys.
I got some good news and I've got some bad news. The good news is that last year's champions, the Colorado Casters, will retain their title for another year. Congratulations. Yeah, that's the first place. The bad news is also last year's last place team, the Motley Casters, will be able to keep their title as worst
One more
Jackson
year,
Hole
one more year.
fly anglers for that year. For another year. And finally, this was for the guys, if there are any guides tuned in, this is the first year that all of our scoring sheets came in, let me say, on time, legible, and everyone,
Accurate?
all guides bundled. So good job, guides. It's because you were at all those meetings. And also, one last thing, John, don't forget to vote for next year on the program when it says 2020 with all the, like, the One Fly winner, what the fly was.
Yeah.
We're still debating whether to say coronavirus or COVID-19. So please go
All
cast
right.
your votes, all right?
Hey, can I just quickly interrupt the programming to give one more thanks before
Sure.
we go to the winners? Hopefully they're compiling that. But so, when Fish and I talked, and the whole One Fly team, by the way, auction team is here. You may not see them, but we try to think of, in a year that's a down year and we're not all together and we're not on the river, like, what's the right place to do this? Like, what's the whole gestalt of the One Fly? Like, where, if we were going to pick a setting that would be as close to home as possible? And, it didn't take us long to actually say a fly shop and Snake River Angler. Boy, I feel right at home here. And I just want to give a special shout out to the guy on my left, Will Dornan, and Sue Bashford, for letting us host this event here, because while we're not home and we're not on the river and we're not all together, this is as close to home for this event as any of our great outfitter fly shops in town. So, thank you, Will, for letting us do this here, because we're all comfortable here, and boy, I can't wait to get everybody back in the saddle a year from now.
Yeah.
But to me, I feel like this is as close as we're going to get, and it's a very nice gesture for Will to let us host this event here.
Talk to Will for a while. You'll get some good stories, too.
Yep.
That's for sure.
For sure.
Thank you again for all of the donations, and I think they are coming in now.
Stay tuned.
This
Should
is
we do them one at a time?
Yeah, and can I do this one?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
over the years, as I
You
said,
know
I've been
that.
doing this since 1990, and I've met some great people over the years who I continue to keep in touch with over the year outside of the One Fly. And our first purchase, which was a day in the boat, $3,200. Thank you to my friend Michael Coles. Appreciate that, man.
Michael.
So goodbye, man. The next item, why don't you do this one, because I know this is your baby, the big box here.
Yeah, the big box is here. This gentleman, I've actually known for a long time. He used to work at the same company when my first job out of college. Big supporter of this tournament. I can't think of a bigger supporter of this tournament. Award winner last year. The big box tonight with all of these flies, like our best tires, was won by our good friend Eric Dobkin. Thank you, Eric, once again. I think you're going to love this box, by the way. All oak, solidly built.
6 layers, tiers, shelves.
I think Eric's won some flies before, so that's why we left some room, just in case.
Cool.
So,
This is great to see this name on this one for the trip to Patagonia. As you mentioned earlier, longtime board members and sort of a new board member to the Jackson Hole One Fly Foundation. You want to congratulate the winner of this year's trip to Patagonia?
Lisa Smith, I hope your husband's part of this package, because the two of you are going to have a good time.
All right, next up is the Chateau Latour. This was a very special bottle, and it hovered at a low price for a while, and then we had a last minute bid on that. You want to talk about the Chateau Latour?
Oh, yeah. Perfection in a Bottle is won tonight by our good friend Mike Engels. He's going to appreciate this bottle. It's a spectacular bottle. Thank you, Mike, for you're always been a great wine supporter on both sides of the equation, so thank you.
And the Chateau Margaux, great story about the donor
but
of that.
it's a great story that gets greater. So this bottle we never thought, but is actually closed out at $1,650. I don't want to get emotional, but Gregory Burns, a teammate of Chuck Walker, thank you. We all miss Chuck, and I'm sure you miss him as much as we do. But that's a special bid, so I'm grateful for that.
I'm sorry to see that's not our name on the next one, but the trip with Oliver, this was a 2-nighter for 4 people.
4 sticks.
Dinner.
You know what's great about
breakfast.
this story? You might not even know. What's wonderful about this story, so imagine that you're one of the regular participants and all of a sudden COVID hits, right? you don't know what you're missing. You don't know what this tournament is. You've never fished in it before. But this team, this was their first year.
Was going to be there.
Going to be their first year. And so this team, Riparian Rodeo, bid on a trip to South Fork Lodge's River Camp, having never done this tournament before. Like, if there's anything that says commitment to the one fly, having
Spirit
never
of
even
the
done
one
it,
fly, yeah.
that's right here. So Oliver, I'm guessing you're going to need some great eggs, or whatever you need to do, because this trip went for close to 10,000 tonight. And that, by the way, is a great number. Great number.
Exactly where
New
we wanted to
team.
be. Yeah.
New
New
team.
team and the spirit. Well, that's the spirit of the one fly right there. Thank you, Tim. And then this once in a lifetime experience
Yep.
to Los Angeles, California, the city of angels, to see a taping of the Jimmy Kimmel live show in the studios. Hotel at the Rosie.
Yeah.
And a little meet and greet as well
Yep.
with Mr. Kimmel.
So I'm going to just interrupt here and ad lib, but I'm pretty sure this winter, every year everybody writes down like what their occupation is. Pretty sure I'm right, but Sue's going to correct me if I'm wrong. Everybody writes what their occupation is.
What did this guy write?
This guy is my favorite description of any participant in the one fly. His description of his occupation, his name being winner, Bruce Jones, is being Bruce Jones. So, Bruce Jones at $3,100, you have 2 tickets to Jimmy Kimmel. Am I wrong, or is that the right? Being Bruce Jones.
hard to be Bruce
It's a
Jones.
big job.
Yeah, it's a big
but
job.
you deserve 2 tickets to go see Jimmy Kimmel. Thank
Bruce
you for
Jones
being
and
Bruce
Bruce
Jones.
Jones.
Yeah,
Both
being
of you
Bruce
Bruce
Jones.
Joneses.
And the last?
And the last one is probably the, I think, steal of this year's auction.
It is the steal, by far.
This was a good buy for a long time one flyer, 6 bottles of some fine wine.
Oh, incredible wine. Incredible wine. $3,000. Matt Plooster, thank you. Thank you again for closing up strong. Let's put it together. We don't want to keep everybody because it's late. We made it, people. The $50,000 match is done. Now, all the minions are tallying the final numbers, but I can tell you right now, the $50,000 is done. So thank you, Oliver. Thank you, Will. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Sue. Thank you, everybody out on the other end of this terrible live streaming production for being with us tonight, because we
I
brought
thought
home.
the production was good.
Oh,
but
I
the
mean, I'm
talent
saying,
was
like,
not so good.
But the point is, we actually raised more than people thought we could do in a tough year. So who knows what next year will bring, Fish?
Yeah, and listen, we know you got other things going on, and it's, part of being at the One Fly is the socialness of it. For you to take an hour out of your week, your day, to spend it with us, to really do what you would have done if you were here anyway. So the only thing you can't do is we can't all get together at the Gun Barrel for breakfast tomorrow.
Nope.
Or Sunday night for the awards. But thank you again. Couldn't do it without you.
We'll see you next year, 2021, or bust.
We like to say we'll catch you next year.
Catch you next year. Thank you.
Register, trademark pending. Don't use that.
Thank you, everybody.
Good night.